Good morning. Today is Wednesday, the last day of January 31st in Sanibel. Darlene and her sister Deb and I watched a documentary last night, 1 hour, 44-minute documentary on Netflix, and the title was American Symphony. And it's the story of Jean Batiste, who was the band leader for, I think, about 10 years for the Colbert Show, friend of Stephen Colbert, and Batiste's wife, whose name is Suleika Jaouad. Her father was Tunisian and her mother was Swiss, or the other way around, I guess. No, Tunisian father and mother was Swiss. Beautiful young woman who was planning to be a war correspondent, and then she came down with leukemia in her 20s. And then it recurred 10 years later. At the time of this documentary, Jean Batiste is working on a major creative project, American Symphony, which he performed at Carnegie Hall at the time that his wife's cancer returns. So it's a very moving, I found, love story, really. These dramatically contrasting scenes of Jean Batiste practicing his symphony and then performing it at Symphony Hall, and then also scenes in the hospital. You know, his wife has just got, you know, ports, and it's unvarnished vulnerability is one thing I saw referring to it, and just awful. I mean, it's just awful to see what she went through. At the same time, he's nominated for 11 Grammys, and she's watching him receive 5 Grammys, including Best Album for an album that he did. I forget the name of that one. And I think the impact of it for me is about meeting adversity with creativity, because he's creating in the midst of dealing with this tragedy affecting the woman he loves. And then she's an artist. She's drawing beautiful images of giraffes in her hospital bed. And it really captures the power of creating things as a way to make sense of life. And she has at her website, which I found, enables me to subscribe, which I did, to something called the Isolation Journals. And it says, the way that's described, I'm looking at the website here, is a newsletter for people seeking to transform life's interruptions into creative grist. And it's got over 152,000 subscribers. One scene that's particularly moving, or was for me, was Batiste is in his bed, and he's so overwhelmed with everything that he just can't get up and work on the symphony. And he's talking to his therapist on his iPhone and working through it. And boy, that just stuck with me, to see that something that he created came out of such an honest grappling with his own vulnerability and his own grief. It explains the power of his work, I think. But more than that, it's just inspiring to see how that works in a human life. Meanwhile, our friend John Cofield, who I talked about yesterday, is back. The procedure went okay for his hernia. He's got some discomfort. He may be going to the doctor again, and we'll give him a ride if he needs it. And then there was an ambulance around in front of our other neighbor's house, Vicky and Bob. Vicky's been fighting gastro trouble for the last month, and so she was off to the hospital, and the neighbors were out there, you know, offering to help in any way we could. Life. It gets lifey, it gets interrupted, and one of the best answers is to create things, which is kind of why I'm talking to you here on this new platform of my morning journal, on videos and YouTube. Finding my way, trying out a new lav microphone. Let me know how it sounds. Thanks for listening and watching.